Hey guys, welcome to Coaching with Chris. I gotta say, I probably have my favorite guests of all favorite guests today because I have my fam with me today, and we're gonna talk about working inside the mortgage business. What is it like? What do we go through? And listen, this conversation is only as good as your comments. So, family, are you here?
We're here.
Oh boy, look out. I know. By the way, just to give a little background. Shalece has tried to get out of this for the last 3 or 4 days. She has come up with every excuse. In fact, this morning, surprise, she didn't know if she felt good. So no one has let her out. And here she is. We finally got her into the office. We got her on camera and we got her on Coaching with Chris. And I think she thought she really was going to get out of it. Is this true?
Might be.
All right. So, anyways, a little bit about us as we get going. Uh, Shalece and I have been married 31 years. We probably don't know much different than the mortgage business. What many of you guys don't know is actually when we owned a mortgage brokerage company that we sold to Plains Commerce Bank, Shalece was the CEO, president, and head of HR. So I know maybe not all of you knew that, and she really truly is the greatest sounding board ever, and maybe the wake up call that I need that I don't want to listen to throughout all of these years. It came to '08 when we sold to the bank. That was a journey that we got to do together, and then she was really truly blessed right after Clay was born to be able to. Shortly after, I should say, work from home and be able to help raise the kids and manage all of those things that come with that. And plus, she loves to be outside. So being outside, there's only one thing that we argue to actually do, and that is to at the
Only
time.
one?
Well, mowing the lawn is something that we have fought with since we met each other when we were both 14. So, a little fun fact there: we have fought over the lawnmower since we were 14 years old, and today, what are we? 53. So that is quite a while. Anyways. Clay being 25 and starting off as an originator for the last year and a half, Clay?
Yep.
How long? Yep.
Almost two.
Almost 2 years, and prior to starting out into a loan partner and working underneath a great loan officer. And then prior to that, he was in the Windsor side, and he helped us do some survey things and did several different roles in disclosure desk. We just feel like that's a great avenue to be able to learn mortgage. And then Shelby actually started off. Did you start off as the receptionist first?
Director of First Impression.
Director of First Impressions. And remember this, Shalish, she came home and grabbed your big water deals.
Yeah.
She gave the big water deals, and she was going to make flavored water like you would see in a 5 diamond hotel. And what was the number one flavor that you made?
Strawberry cucumber.
Strawberry cucumber. And I think it was Brett Coy that one time said, "What are you doing? Why are you making this flavored water?" And you're like, "The customers love it." And so every day you come up with some new flavors. And then from there, did you go underneath Patty?
Yeah. Selling the loans to the investors for a
So
while.
you're packaging, selling, and being
Yeah.
able to deliver the final packages. That is the ultimate way to learn mortgage and to learn terms. And then from there, you went to LP1.
I was an LP2 assistant, so processing, and then LP1.
And LP1 worked for a great LO. I always tease him. Jeremy is a fantastic LO, but we call him the napkin LO because he gets all these great leads. He gives it to his loan partners, and then they've got to complete the task. I know that's a little far-fetched, Jeremy. I still love you to death, but that is how you can learn a lot about mortgage throughout that whole process. And then, Shelby, your journey into Windsor looked like you started off as an account manager?
Yep, account manager. So basically dealing with the conditions, and there was only a couple of us at the time. And then after a couple years of that, I became
Yeah. And that was in probably in the very beginning in the birth of Windsor, really, when you became that account manager.
Yeah, the very, very start. We
Yeah.
didn't know what we were doing at that point in time. At least I
So yeah. So everybody's a little bit nervous about this call, but let's just go through. As a family, I was thinking of this. What's dinner like, Shalece? What's dinner like?
Well, that depends on if I have food in the house and if I'm actually cooking or not.
Okay.
That
What
or
do
if
you mean? You're a
we're
great
going out
cook.
for dinner. What is dinner like after you all come home?
Yeah.
You mean? Well, I think I've learned over the years. Well, actually, I think the three of you have learned. Sometimes I might have a cue. I'm not sure if it's the same cue, but I can only take so much after talk, business talk. And then I think when I've had my fill and it's time to shut you all down and say, okay, that can all wait till tomorrow. Let's change subjects. I think we've perfected that. I think I've gotten softer and let you have a little more time for a while. I think in marriage, Chris, I think we and as a family, I think it ebbs and flows with how much work talk happens around the dinner table or a weekend or a vacation, and that changes with where you're all at which stage of the mortgage world. There are definitely years that are we've been in the business a long time and we've seen the upticks and the downticks and the level, and it's always ebb and flows. Um, but I think the kids, would you say I probably there's a point where I say, okay, that's we're done, where I try to
Yeah, there's
help
normally
shut it off.
there's normally always a pretty solid cue coming from you, uh, especially if we all three start chiming in, and you're kind of like, "What's going on?" Uh, we normally pick up pretty fast on if we should be done talking.
It's the instant change of subject
Yeah.
that I feel like it gets clicked in. Shalece, Dave asks, how do you keep three mortgage calendars balanced during dinner, vacation, and downtime?
Wow. Well, I am pretty talented. Some of you may not know, but I I'm a detailed orientated person. Maybe probably a little bit. I would say maybe out of all three of us, I'm probably the detail highest on the charts.
Now she's old school detailed, by the way. It's a handwritten calendar in pencil, so it can change, and anything that can't change is written in pen. And so I've noticed when the other day I thought you grabbed my Sharpie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to screw up your whole calendar by using my Sharpie. But you do a pretty good job of knowing all three of our calendars. Who Chelsea asks, who's the most competitive? Shelby, who do you think?
Shelby,
Shelby.
it's probably me.
Shelby.
See, I think it's mom.
Well, in the office was the question, I believe.
Okay. In the office, Shelby's the most competitive. You're
In real
probably
life, probably mom. You don't want to play games with her. Any
no.
type of board game, she gets a little feisty.
Yeah, and she says she doesn't love board games, but she loves to win.
Oh,
And so she
who
what
doesn't?
what's our new board game that you love?
Code names.
Code names. And she beat us last time. We usually play guys against girls, and she's been winning. So she is definitely on it. Shauna asked Clay, what is your go-to strategy when someone hesitates about the current rates? Oh my gosh,
Go
they
to
want to talk business.
quite the change, but when someone's hesitant, what I found recently as an example that's worked very well for me this morning, even, is getting them off the topic of the rates, and that's all they want to talk about. And you can kind of tell, like the phone call, if it's a phone call or in person. For example, this one was a phone call, and that's all they want to talk about. They're getting super analytical about it, and just being able to respond quick and show them the difference of what they're going to be missing out on, and just being able to switch topics right away to make them feel more comfortable and more as a conversation and less about business or just specific numbers.
And I liked it when you had that client the other day. You got really, you got to the tactical number and the reason, but then also you showed them the real math. And I think when
Yeah.
people talk about rates, they don't think real math, they think this perception of it. And I thought you did a really good job of getting to the real math, and then it made sense. And I think he went and made an offer.
Correct. Yep.
Uh, um, Brittany Dieters, oh my gosh, here we go. What is the best piece of career advice you've given or received from each other? Shelby?
I don't know if it's really a word or a sentence I can say, but just being able to watch you over our lives, like you really made it a priority to be at home when you were at home, and when you were at work, you always worked really hard, and that was pretty cool to see growing up. It's like, nope, dad has to go do this, and we got to listen to you on calls. So I think that just watching you has been the best career advice I've ever had.
Clay?
For me, something that I've picked up on that it's kind of similar to Shelby, where it's not like directly been told to me or learned, but it's something I've picked up on, and it is on the customer service side of things. Always watching you when I've grown up. Like, yes, there's time when you should be with family and have your phone turned off and respect that time, but yet being able to still respond to a urgent need of a client and being able just to take care of them, even if you're spending time on a vacation with family, that you're still able to do that.
Yeah, right. Balancing it out.
Yeah, I think work-life balance is huge for anyone in any career. I think with the four of us being so intertwined in this one bank and company, Plains and Windsor, I think finding that natural progression of balance. I think when it's also Chris has learned. I think we've both got better at communication. Probably, I'd say the last 5 years for sure. There will be times where I'm like, was that call really necessary on Saturday at 6 o'clock? And of course he giggles because he'll say, yeah, I had to take it. But you really have tried to, there are some calls you have to go take. And my advice now, Shelby and Clay, as you're maturing and starting out in your careers, is when you're with your family, partners, spouses, friends, groups of friends, hey guys, I need 5 minutes. I gotta just finish this one quick deal and then come back and reiterate and apologize. Sorry, I took that, but I'm here now. Let's move on. Don't just assume that we all should like hang out in the background. I think acknowledging it to who you're around speaks volumes before or after you take that call.
Yeah, sometimes work needs you more, and sometimes your family needs you more.
Yeah, I think Shalece, for me to answer, I think Shalece you've probably taught me the power of stop and think versus react. I'm good at reacting, and sometimes that might not be the best choice. And you've taught me to, stop and think to be able to uh, think through the whole thing. And that has probably taught me a great lesson of, not letting my emotions overrun, which every time I've let my emotions overrun, it's never went good. It's definitely not went good. Uh, the next question came up was obviously the family is deeply involved in the mortgage world. How did this come to be? What was the intentional from the start? So I don't know if I 100% understand this, but like, let's just, mortgage for me and Shalece was, uh, it was just an opportunity that a phone call came in, and I was in between jobs. I'd failed at insurance. We went broke. We didn't have a lot of options, and I was laying sod for Shalice's father, which is not a sexy job. I will tell you, it is a hard job. And so any opportunity to sell something I was looking for, and then mortgage came calling, and we followed that path. So that's how I got in. But Shelby and Clay, uh, did you see you guys in getting into mortgage? Like when you were growing up, what did you want to be? And then what came to that point where you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll try mortgage? Shelby?
I wanted to be a vet, so completely opposite line of work I thought I wanted to do. I used to rodeo and everything like that, so mortgage was never at the top of my mind. I kind of just uh, got a job working at the front desk, and then I never left, and I love it. But no, I didn't want to do this.
Even when you took the front desk job, you didn't still think, well, I'd be here forever.
No, it was a temporary thing. You're like, well, why don't you just come back home from rodeoing and just work at the front desk and see how it goes? And 8 years later.
Here you are. It caught you and never let go. Clay, how about you?
Definitely did not plan to be in the mortgage industry at all. Growing up, I was always racing cars and thought I was going to be a professional race car driver. And then that slowly switched into playing football and getting the opportunity to play college football. And that kind of led me into this role where COVID hit, football kind of went to crap, and got a job working at Windsor, part-time, working 2 days a week and trying to finish off school. We'll say that did not work out very smoothly for the school side of things, as working 2 days a week felt like the other 3 days were free time. And then it turned into a full-time job, and I haven't thought twice about leaving.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember even trying to encourage you to stay into football. I thought, well, maybe I'd just get you on a salary. And you're like, Dad, I'm not going to be a football player the rest of my life. You can't buy my way to keep me in. And I go, oh, now you have to be mature. I'll still never forget that. I thought for sure I had the answers, and I didn't. Shalece, do you have anything that when you watched the kids grow up, did you ever think they were going to be in mortgage?
Not at all. I did not think they would be in the same business as you 100%. I'm so excited that they are, and it's been so much fun to watch them grow and watch different positions that they've done, and now kind of they're, I'd say, settling in and starting to really shine and thrive, and it's just super cool, super exciting.
Bert wanted to know what we do in the mornings as traditions. So I will say this, Steph. My traditions have changed. I used to, as soon as I wake up, go to the shower and get ready and come to work. That was like I did that for years. And now I feel like I have to go chill out and get ready and prepared for the day. And I usually up at 5:30 and getting ready at work at 7 seems to be my new tradition. So like, I feel like my tradition has changed. I'd love to tell you that I get up at 5, I go to the gym, I do my cold plunge, and then I do this and I do that. And I don't do any of that. I should do that. But I don't. I watch YouTube golf is what I do. I love it. I giggle. I get ready for the day, and then off I go. Shalece, what's your tradition?
Stumble out to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition.
So coffee, little coffee.
That's my
Clay,
start.
Clay, do you have a morning routine? Or
I was pretty similar to yours until the last few days. It was always just quickly take a shower and get to work as soon as I wake up. Give myself no time, basically waking up as I'm driving to work. But now I got a new puppy, and now I got to walk him a mile every day before I get ready for work, and then I go to work. So,
did you realize when you decided to get this puppy, the amount of life-changing things that were going to happen to you? Or was it like, I was so excited to have the puppy, like, well, I haven't got to ask you this yet, but
no, I really didn't think twice about it, what was all going to change. But I'm learning as he's learning. So
okay, all right. So you're learning together.
Yep.
But that's what life is. How about you, Shelby?
I have a similar situation. I just can't quite lock mine in a kennel. No, right? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know how moms do it that are working. I'm still trying to figure it out. But right now, I wake up and I spend time with my baby, and I drink my coffee, and then I go drop them off at grandma's house and come to work. That's my little morning routine now.
Chelsea asks, what's a tradition or value that your family has that you use in the office?
Hmm.
Who wants to go?
I think that we're all pretty honest with each other, and I think that that's, I guess, a value that we have as a family. So sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's maybe uncalled for because we'll be really honest even if we're angry. But we always we're sometimes quick to get angry, but we're always really quick to forgive. So I think that that's a value that we don't use.
That's a good one. I was going to say direct. Like
That's
I
a
feel
better
like
word, maybe.
Shalece is direct. I'm direct. I feel like that's something that, I probably carried on to work. And I would say maybe some would want me to be softened a little bit. I wish some days I was a little softer, or Shalece would be like, you need to soften up a little. But I would say direct. Clay?
I would say the exact same thing, direct. A lot of the time, I can catch myself, or even with friends, I've noticed that I can be really direct. And if I don't catch myself, I feel like that sometimes can be a added value into work with dealing with some customers, and some customers don't really like direct. So I feel like it can go both ways for me, but
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely added value to be able to have that option to be direct.
Mama Bear. You only know there's one person that calls you Mama Bear. What is the biggest challenge and the biggest blessing?
What is my biggest challenge?
And biggest
Wow,
blessing? It's a deep question.
that is very deep. Joe's making me really think this morning. I think the biggest challenge I have is um, just taking care of myself. Sometimes I tend to put the kids and Chris, everyone else first, and forget at this stage of life what I'm interested in doing. Right now, I kind of having a really good time being a grandma, but that I think that's my challenge, just making sure I'm taking care of myself and doing things that I enjoy, and not just because someone else or the family needs us to do that or needs me to do that. My biggest blessing are, of course, the faces that I'm looking at right now on the screen. Um, and of course, my son in law, Keegan, and our new grandbaby, Cal. Um, my family, I'm blessed that we get along. I'm blessed that the four of us love to hang out together. You would think if you're around, I mean, I grew up in a family business. Chris had family business modeled to him. There's times that you just don't really want to be with them on a weekend because you've all had enough of each other. And we're so blessed that I don't think that happens with us very often. It seems
Well,
like,
that we know of.
yeah,
Shalece.
well, but even Shelby, Sunday night we came home from the lake, and Clay wasn't at the lake this weekend, and I wanted to get off the boat and get home and spend a little time with Clay. And I sure didn't think Shelby wanted to hang out with us anymore. And all of a sudden it's, well, I'm coming over for dinner too. I want to see Clay. So here we all were again. And not every family has that. And I think that
It's a
that's,
cool blessing.
yeah, we might be direct with each other, but we also really truly love each other very deeply and appreciate each other.
So, two-part question coming up. Chris, how'd you instill work ethic in Shelby and Clay?
Mm,
Expect it. Accountability, good chores, uh, and don't ever waver from it. I feel like Shalece and I did that. Like Shalece is tough at home. Like when she's got stuff she's want to do, her agenda, and getting it done and getting it completed. I hate landscaping and working in that stuff. I hate it, and Shalece loves it. And there's sometimes where I just have to do it because we need to do it, and there's other times where I'd like to have someone else do it, and she'd like to do it, and so that might waver a little bit of a conflict. But expect. I think is the big thing. Shalece, you got anything to add on that?
Oh,
On
I
work
just think
ethic
raising the kids, we always lived out in the
on
country.
farm.
Yeah, there was always a lot of work, whether it was yard work or we always had animals or things to take care of. We always were outside and doing it together. Um, Animals can't. I remember when Shelby was going through a few teenage years and a young girl wants to sleep in or a teenage kid wants to sleep in. Our kids never really slept in very much. And when Shelby did, I was like, hey, wake up. Your animals need fed. They don't want to wait to eat breakfast on your time schedule. Get out of bed, get your stuff done, then come in and you can chill out. But
I don't know if it was that gentle, but yes, I remember.
well,
It probably wasn't. It probably was.
I
It
don't
was.
think I didn't put
And
I,
to preface it, your landscaping preferences, she vacuumed the rocks. So, like, we're not talking just pulling a
no, I
few.
didn't vacuum. I power washed them.
Well, you power wash.
You also power wash the grass too.
Yeah, that too.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. So I would say it is learned and taught behavior. I would say it was a combination of both. Do you find you each have different strengths within the business, or is there a shared approach that runs in the family? Woo. I'm gonna start and then Shalece and then we'll get the kids in. But I would say we are all different. I think there's definitely a difference between Clay and Shelby, and there is a difference between the kids and I. But Shalece, how would you answer that?
Hmm. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm not in the office working with you all that much. So I'll pass it on to this question on to you guys who are in the office working with each other.
I would say both of them. One trait is they're both hard on themselves. And I'm hard on myself too. And you know, we take pride, but then we can take it too personal. And that sometimes I could see that being one. Shelby, what do you think?
I think we're all pretty different, but I think some of the values that you taught us, we all have. But as far as how we approach things, I think, I'm maybe a little more aggressive than Clay at some parts of work, and he's maybe a little more thinks it through before he says some things sometimes, and I don't always do that. So I think I think we're all pretty different. I think there's definitely some values, but I think we're pretty different.
Yeah, Clay.
Yeah. Besides values, we're all completely different. How we'd all
Approach things.
answer a question or approach something. All three of us, even all four of us, I think we'd all take a completely different direction at doing it.
Shalice's questions for you, or I guess me too, is being a first-time grandparent, what does it mean and your excitement about it?
Well, I have heard how many times over and over, oh, it's the greatest thing. It's so different than having your own. It is like when I look at Cal and hold him in my arms, it it takes me back to holding Shelby and Clay, of course, when they were younger, but even more love than I think I had for the two of them because now looking back, I recognize how fast that time goes. Um, just laughing about how Cal's already outgrowing outfits. And I think when you're in the thick of it and you don't know what you don't know, when you're hustling and having this family and just starting out and everything is a blur and you're not sleeping, we get to sleep at night. Shelby doesn't get to. And so I think looking back at that, you remember those things, but appreciate them a little more because, I know how fast it goes, but there's nothing greater than looking in that little guy's eyes.
Yeah, I would explain it as joy. And just watching him, the mannerisms, the little smiles, the interactions, or even watching someone else hold him and their reactions. Uh, it's uh, it's just, I mean, they always tell you being a grandparent is so different. You're gonna love it. And then you don't really get it until you're a grandparent, and then you're like, oh, I get it. And you know what? When it's time to get changed, I love it because I just go, here you go. And that is the best part. And I have to watch Keegan go change it. And I giggle. Uh, and I go, yeah, that's grandparent rights. Uh, that's just how that works. I think I went up too much. Okay, Scott. Scotty asks, what is the most challenging part of all working together, Clay?
Oh, I don't even know how you would answer this one. Almost like FOMO, but it'd be more of like the fear of disappointment. I know I've had it a lot. Like to follow in your footsteps with how far you've come, I kind of almost like compare myself, even though I'm 25 and I'm just starting in my career. But it'd be the fear of disappointment, and if I do something wrong, that would be probably the hardest thing for me in my shoes.
Yeah. You know, Clay, I wasn't even in mortgage yet at 25, so you're ahead of me. And I had to go flat broke, and you're not flat broke. You've done way better at that than I have when I was 25. Shelby?
I think that it was really hard the first couple of years figuring it out. Like, it's a big change to work with your family. I think we do pretty good now, but it was pretty big change to just start working for you. Even though you've kind of been a coach my whole life, it was still different. I mean, I don't want to disappoint you. I want to do a good job in my competitive side. I always want to win. So when I don't, I feel like I let you down. But that's just how it goes. That's my brain. So that's just how it
Yeah. Remember, we used to have the rule, the 5-minute rule, and anytime it didn't go good, you got 5 minutes to yourself to do whatever you wanted. Throw your sucker in the mud, laugh, cry, bawl, pound your fist. It doesn't matter what it would be. You definitely had 5 minutes to let it all out. And I think I reminded myself the other day. I go, you got to let it have it all out before you have the talk. And you know, it wasn't for me working for my dad. It was for me. I was thinking of when you two were answering it. It wasn't just the expectations of leading up to my dad. It was also the expectations of the other employees, knowing they're all looking at me. And that is extreme amount of pressure that is real, that you can't do anything about. And when you made a mistake, boy, oh boy, it became a bigger mistake just because all the employees looked, talked, did the stuff that just normally happens. And that was hard on me into that piece. Shalece, you worked in a family business. Do you have anything to add to that?
Uh, yeah, I think you don't want to let your parents down in anything, but when your father is quote unquote your boss and you're all in this, it's not a small family business that you guys work in. I think Chris and we had more a typical real small family business. You guys have others around that you can bounce things off of, but I totally get the pressure that Clay spoke about, and you, Shelby, that I think I would just keep encouraging you. You're not your father. Neither of you are. You're your own individual and you're carving your own path. And yes, there is great advice and things to look up to from your dad, but just remember you're your individual self carving your way into this industry, and you're both doing great, and we're so proud of you both.
I know we talked about this a minute ago, but Don asked, did you ever realize during a family time conversation you talk too much about business and other family members are feeling left out? I don't know about you guys, but I find many family members are curious about or have questions about the mortgage business, which then leads into a conversation that other families are like, we don't want to talk about mortgage. And I got a buddy that is in a different industry, and every time a family member asks him a question, he's like sick of talking about it. But I don't know if I get sick of talking about it, but I feel like the need to be able to answer the question. How do you guys feel? Do you think other family members are feeling left out?
I think sometimes, but not all the time. Like if it's a big deal and it's you need advice or help, mom's always really good about listening. Um, but sometimes if we're ready to move on to the next topic, I mean, it's pretty known. Shalece, mom, you're not very quiet when we need to move on. So I think that if they do feel left out, we kind of get tell, but not very often.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Clay, anything on that?
I would agree with that. I mean, even for me, being on the different side of things on retail instead of wholesale, I kind of find it really intriguing listening to if there's something going on or an issue on Shelby's side of things with being an account executive, trying to just understand like what's the backside sound like.
Mm.
So I don't ever feel like I really can be, but there is instances where it's like, all right, let's just move on, talk about something else.
Or a family member goes, what's that? Like, how we talk mortgage jargon. Shalece has learned the mortgage jargon over the years, but they're like, what are you talking about? And how's that work? And what now? Would be something that a family member would say. Shalece, if you were to enter, okay, this is a great one. If you were going to enter in the mortgage business, I know this, by the way, I know what this is. And I can see the kids giggling. What role do you think you'd be the best at? If you're going to enter into the mortgage business, what role would you be the best at?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't think I'm a great closer. I think I think I'm good at relationships. I think I would probably be a little bit more over probably with Clay on a retail side. I think I can juggle a few clients at a time. I don't think I would be great at juggling how Shelby juggles many, many, many clients at a time. I don't know.
I think you would be the ultimate at client experience and helping design all of the little details and business development in being able to help us all with those details. But Shelby, Clay, what do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, if I didn't need daycare, I'd hire.
By the way, on a joke side, and I don't mean this as like degrading at all, but this building would be so clean. If she was head of getting this building cleaned, she would be the perfect at it. Now, she could lead all of that as well and make sure that the people were making sure that the building was cleaned.
Well, I dabbled in HR a couple times too. Remember when you had your little airsoft guns and I'd walk into the office saying, yeah, we probably shouldn't do those wars anymore. Someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah, you and Sam would make a great team. I would not personally like it, but you and Sam would make a great team. Clay, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely business development side of things, figuring out how to host like private dinners with clients and helping organize all that with how detailed you are. You would absolutely kill it at that.
Yeah, I love people. I love relationships and people. And I think that we've modeled that to you and your sister over the years. Both your dad and I both love. I mean, sometimes it can get overwhelming when you do big events and big parties, but that's just that's the small part of details and parties.
Or if we were to have a on-site designer, I think you'd be perfect at that. Every time you walk into this building, something has to be moved or changed, or a picture has to be adjusted.
Her eye.
Yep.
I'm like, I told her one time, I go, stop looking at the M&Ms, because she doesn't like the M&Ms up on the top, and I do. And they're orange and blue, and they match the colors, and she don't like them. And I go, just stop looking at them. They're not looking at you. And we laugh about it, and off we go. Rob, we all know that there could be a lot of pressures in mortgage. Oh gosh, do we, Rob? And do you ever get overwhelmed where competitive priorities, and how do you reset from that? Or help each other from doing that? Competitive
Competing priorities.
oh, you're right. Competing priorities. Shelb?
I think that if we're overwhelmed or work is stressful and um, mom's always really good if we call her and just need someone to listen. Sometimes we don't always want the problem to be fixed. We just need to listen. She's always really good about bringing it back to level ground. Um, or just like sometimes me and Clay will just call each other and like we're having a rough day and he's really good about picking me up and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I feel like I'm usually pretty good about picking him up when he needs it too.
Do you two lean on each other?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I mean,
Mom,
I'm leaning on you too, but
yeah, but I'm at the end. I get the end. I feel like I don't mind it, but I get the end. Or Shalece might say, "Hey, you got to fix this." Yada yada yada. Clay, how about you?
If I like need to pick me up or how I reset if I get overwhelmed, is I'll just call someone I can talk to that is not going to talk a single thing about mortgages, or they just want to talk. They want to talk about cars or trucks, or just a quick reset. It's normally all I need. Like I really
Talk
enjoy.
about something else.
Yeah, just get my mind off of it for just even a split second helps me big time.
Guys, can you believe it's already been 41 minutes? It's went so fast. If you were gonna leave today and give somebody any advice of staying uh, in a family business and working together, what would be one secret that would help them when you're in this mortgage business? We're dealing with stress, we're dealing with high rates, we deal with low rates, we deal with tons of hours. What would be one advice that you would give um, as we've lived through and worked through and sticking together? Shalish, you want to go first, or you
Mhm.
want to pass?
No, I can go first. I think one piece would be remember your core foundation. I think our core was raising our kids with faith.
Mm.
And remember the small issue or problem. Someone else always has something bigger to deal with. And take a step back, take a breath, and realize this little issue can soften in time.
Yeah, Clay.
I would say to make sure, and it's easy to forget about spending time uh, with each other, like we talked earlier, and answer that question. Like we're pretty good at it with seeing each other on the weekends and getting together and having dinners. I think that's huge and keeps us level and keeps the family time mandatory and keeps us closer when we all go to dinner together, or if it's just a quick afternoon where we hang out, or if we swim together. I think that's the biggest thing that would help us.
Yeah, that's good advice. Like, just make the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't wanna, and sometimes you do. I mean, we're all human. That's good advice. Shelby?
I think that just taking it day by day, like if there's a really bad day at work, I mean, you wake up the next day and it's a new day and it doesn't have to be the same. Like just taking a beat and do better the next day, or maybe the problems are a little bit less huge after you sleep on it.
Yeah. Shalise, Tiffany wants to know, you're so good at opening your home and entertaining for us and clients. What's your tip?
Paper and pencil. No notepad. Notepad.
You're good at lists,
Details, my list.
and you're good at research. You really do a lot of research and being able to come up with it. Guys, so much fun. Shalise, this wasn't so bad. Can you say this wasn't so bad?
Wasn't so bad.
You'd do it again.
Sure. Twist my arm.
All right. You guys, I will see you later. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please share this. Don't also remember you can listen to Spotify, YouTube, Apple TV, Apple. I wanted to say Apple TV, but I know that was wrong. Guys, it was fun to be able to do this together, and we will see you soon.